Hey, alexkaapa here. The last video I made, I explained that I was going to remake my videos, my older ones, and now I will start remaking my first ever YouTube video. It will be a remake of the response to the video "I Am No Longer an Atheist" by 8-Foot Man Child. So I will quickly summarize the point of the video I was responding to, and then get to my point again. In the video, 8-Foot Man Child tried to explain that unless there is no positive definition of the thing you're supposed to believe in, namely God, the idea of atheism falls apart, because there is nothing for an atheist to lack a belief in. I hope I summarized it well enough. So here's my response. It's true, and I am not trying to disagree with anything he said, but because us humans are not very rational and not very consistent in the way we think, and especially when we think of God, we have a very vague sense, and we do have a very vague sense of what God is supposed to be. What this means is that, in practical terms, you can really refer to an atheist, although theists can't really explain what their God is supposed to be. The term atheism makes it receive a connotation to make theism look as if it were the default position, when in fact the lack of belief in the existence of something is the place you start off with when you try to discuss it. You first have to be convinced of the existence of something, and not the other way around. So, atheism is the default position. Of course, when there's enough evidence, the default position can shift. Thus, given enough evidence, the theism can become the default position. Similarly, we can take the example of the Holocaust. The default position has become accepting that it did take place, but on first glance, you should really expect that you should need to be convinced that it happened before you believe in it. But because of the overwhelming evidence, we in fact decide that as a default position that it did take place, and those who deny it are called Holocaust deniers, and are those that deny the default position. But this is not the case with atheism. Atheism remains the default position because there is no evidence for God, at least no substantial or unambiguous evidence. We cannot call atheists God deniers or whatever, or you even use the term atheist, because it gives it the connotation as if it were a rejection of the default position, when in fact it is itself the default position. So what I propose is either to not use any terminology at all, or what I find is better is to switch sides in a way that coin a new term that unambiguously puts atheism as the default position and states theism as the rejection or whatever of this position. But please don't ask me to coin the term myself. I am not very talented at that. But why I propose this is that's the only intellectually honest way to go. Please don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe, and I think that's it.